through the tracery of old wrought iron, lacework from a long-forgotten blacksmith's hammer to edge a hallowed or historic plot. Or from a modern vantage point aloft, it is a place of patterns along the harbor front, or in the northwest arm reserved for pleasure craft, or down quiet streets of comfortable homes. The patterns bear, in iron and ancient bronze and weathered stone, the hallmarks of history. On every side endure reminders of a proud past, rich in tradition and the accomplishments of peace and the old triumphs of half-forgotten wars. From the eastern bastions of the Citadel, one faces the ocean and the dawn. Here, an hour before the rest of North America, the new day rises from the sea to gild the bridge and silhouette the old town clock and masts of fishing craft along the waterfront. Now, as has always been the case, Halifax lives by its waterfront, and seaborne commerce is its breath of life. At the four quadrants of the compass, the city is built on the steep slopes of a hill that rises to the Citadel and rises from tidewater. Much that is new has grown in recent years, but as in the past, the roots of growth are fed and nurtured by the sea. The fishery and seaborne trade built Halifax and builds it higher every year. The heart of the city is the Grand Parade, and from that heart the visitor is warmly welcomed. And there is much of interest here to browse and see at a comfortable pace, and in an atmosphere of old world courtesy that many modern cities have lost along the way. Barrington Street, the main thoroughfare, boasts fine department stores, and too, the shops of specialists with many colored merchandise, such as these Nova Scotia tartans in fine wool, the official tartan of the province, made up in a wide range of garments for the young and serious, and for the not so very old and gay. And in the Grand Parade, a place of memory. 2 world wars that raged across the nearby sea came perilously close to home at times and left their marks on the old face of Halifax. In 17, a munition ship blew up, killed thousands, threw its anchor stock some 3 miles inland. Old Province House that Charles Dickens hailed as a jewel of Georgian colonial and Westminster in miniature, housed the first responsible government in all of Britain's empire overseas. Joe Howe, who stands nearby in bronze, won that privilege for his native province. The constant contrasts of old with new add sparkle to the patterns of the city, and the founding father, Edward Cornwallis, looks down in wonderment at the changes of 200 years and how the inns have grown and prospered since his day. The harbor's northwest arm, when Cornwallis first sailed in, was called, the Indians said, Wagwaltic, and that name lives on along the city's western shore in the famed Wagwaltic Club, where succeeding generations of Haligonians learned to swim. But the Wag is just the finest of many fine swimming and boating clubs, for few cities in the world have such a sea-girt site, or are so well provided with public beaches, and hundreds of Halifax homes have tidewater at the bottom of the garden. Public baths and favorite, if informal, swimming spots abound in both the harbor and the arm. As at the Wagwaltic, many of the city's fine tennis courts belong to the boating and bathing clubs. And a hot game of tennis, followed by a cool saltwater swim, is an old ritual in the Citadel City. At the harbor's seaward end, the amateur sailors observe the age-old rites of spring, with paint and varnish, sandpaper, and a lot of elbow grease, as they carry on the best traditions of Nova Scotia's great seafaring past. The hulls are shipshape when they take the water for the long summer sailing season. Even the youngsters catch the spirit of the launching time. The snipes, always the first afloat in spring and the last to haul out in autumn, begin their racing season early. These are the training craft for the city's strength of yachtsmen. And with a snipe, it's great fun while you're learning. As spring wears into summer, the larger craft appear, and weekends in the harbor and the Arm see sails in hundreds. Yachts in a score of types and classes are everywhere you look in summertime, close hauled to the wind or running before light airs, flying a nylon spinnaker of red, blue, or green. They add a sparkle to the seaward sea. But the contagious urge for speed is felt here too. For those who would go faster than the wind, powerboats are myriad in number. And this one might expect in Halifax. For here on Water Street, one Samuel Cunard found sail too slow and dreamed his dream of ships that would be driven on by steam, and founded his world-circling shipping line. Nearby Lily Lake is a favorite spot for powerboats, and the outboard experts come from miles around to test their skills as tinkerers and drivers. Okay, the right adjustments made, the right mixture in the tank, and with a roar, they're off. Boats of commerce are a very different thing. Here they lie at a great ocean terminal, waiting to carry the products of our farms and factories to the world. Ships of the 7 seas, flying the flags of every nation, and house flags of every steamship line. And up the harbor are the fish piers and the packing plants. A swordfish boat unloads, while on the wharf the handlers rake in cod and haddock and halibut. This is one of the world's